My story begins here. This is what the city of Urbana's financial system still looks like. Also, our payroll system, police data, and many other key systems. Now, when I joined the city, I felt like government should be about using its information. While these are great for data entry, this is not the way to analyze data. So we launched the Open Expenditure site. So we're using some off-the-shelf software to deliver to our own employees their own financial information, and as a side benefit, other people, other citizens could access that information too. Now, we went on from there and got into open data. One of the major points of interest is actually this. This is arrest data from the city of Urbana going back to 1988. Now, no names, just demographic information, but this is real information that people can use to make decisions with. For example, in 2016, Urbana City Council used arrest data like this to decide to lower the fee for cannabis possession from $300 to $50. And this graph actually shows you the cannabis arrests in the city of Urbana since 2010. Now, that's informed government. That's what it's all about. From that starting point, I learned about the open data movement. All around the country, there are people who are interacting with their local governments, using information and having a dialogue. This is a map of Code for America brigades all around the country. Notice there's none in central Illinois yet. There is, however, a very successful hack night in Chicago. And so Chicago is a great example for us. This is actually a picture of a hacking event in Chicago. A lot of devices, a lot of caffeine, pretty par for the course. People sitting around, interacting with each other, and trying to work together to solve problems. So what kind of problems do you solve at a hack night? Well, this is one of the best examples I've seen. The city of Chicago posts all kinds of data to the open data site they have. They use the same tool. This is a real-time updated list of vehicles that have been towed from city streets. This is not useful information because it's tucked away in a corner of a website. So some of the Chicago Hack Night people got together and built wasmycartowed.com. You enter your license plate, press the green button, that's the top, and then on the bottom it comes back and tells you whether your car was towed and if so, where to. That's useful information. So I feel compelled here to note that even though I keep talking about hack night and hackers, I want to be clear, this is not hacking in the sense of doing malicious things or taking down governments or hurting people. This is hacking as in life hack. It's problem solving. It's bringing your skills to bear on a challenging issue and creatively getting around it. By the way, that was a hacker from the 80s. This apparently is what hackers look like now, according to Google. And this is my reminder to tell you my 2 IT tips for the night from an IT director. Number 1, use a password generator. Use different passwords for every site and let it generate complex passwords for you. Number 2, back up your data. And if you don't like online backups, I do because they're easy and they just happen automatically. If you insist on doing it yourself, unplug your hard drive when you're not backing it up and get it away from your primary computer. Otherwise, if you see something like this, it will also infect your backups. This is a ransomware screen. Back to the hack night. So hack night people are open source people, meaning they love to share. And the Chicago group has been wonderful about sharing their entire playbook for how to run a hack night. So we've taken what they've done and said, well, why not do it here in Champaign-Urbana? And that's what we've been doing since February. The hack nights start with food. That was one of the key lessons. So we start at 6 o'clock, and the first thing we do is have food, usually pizza, thanks to our sponsors. And we get together, talk, interact, meet each other. Then we move quickly through any upcoming announcements or events worth noting. Sometimes there's a discussion of job listings, and then we have a speaker. The speaker is either somebody from local government or a civic technologist or just somebody who's been working on something cool and wants to show us that tool. They talk for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then comes the best part. Then we break up into groups. So what happens is people stand up, and if they have something they want to work on, an issue, a problem, they describe it, and then people break up and work on the things that sound interesting to them. And we work on it in groups like this. Some of the information is sometimes data analysis. It might be constructing something. It might be trying to apply our skills to solve a problem. there's not really any constraints on the kind of work that we're doing. Also, it's important to note there's not any constraints on the timeline. This is not a hackathon. It's not a one-day event or a three-day event or any kind of time constraint. We meet on a weekly basis that lets people interact on an ongoing basis, much like with these slides. Sometimes you can tell a story across multiple slides. So it gives you the opportunity to use Tuesday nights as a checkpoint, and sometimes work occurs in between the meetings, and sometimes it doesn't. But it gives us that ongoing dialogue and a place to work. So that's what we mean when we talk about a hack night. It's getting together to work on those problems. Now, our definition of problems is focused here on the Champaign-Urbana area. Although from there, we move out because we acknowledge, as was noted earlier, the state of Illinois has lots of problems. There are also national and international efforts that we're tied into and can be a part of. So our focus, although it's locally initially, we're branching out from there. So I came here tonight to invite you. We want you to join us. We want your issues. We want your problems, your skills, or maybe skills you want to learn. We meet on Tuesday nights at Enterprise Works in Research Park. We start at 6. We go till about 8, maybe a little later. And we meet on a regular basis on Tuesdays. You can find out more information about us on the website, cuhacknight.org. You can contact us. You can submit ideas through the website. But more importantly, we want you to come and be a part of it. Because we acknowledge that even in an area as wonderful as this, there are problems. But you can come and be part of the solution. Thank you.